Arsene. It's never a good time never a good week when you've lost the North London derby. Could you just tell me what the reaction's been like from your players?
Well, focus on the next game. Of course, we are disappointed by our result and by our performance as well. And the best way is to respond because we come out of quite a good spell, and so we want to bounce back. There's no better way sometimes to have a big game straight away again.
It is a big game against Manchester United. Could you just first of all start with the team?
We have still Granit Xhaka, who is out from the kick he got in the game, and Mustafi is back in normal training, and that's basically it.
And what's the issue with Granit?
It's a swollen ankle.
And is Davdos back to full fitness now?
Yes.
And Lucas Perez, is he available?
Lucas Perez is back in training as well, but I think he missed the next 2 days. He got a little problem in training yesterday.
And just lastly from me, you've spoken about the clarity that your side have. You've pretty much got to win every game. Is Sunday's game as big as it gets really in this final run?
Yeah, of course, but the problem before is that the clarity was if we win our games, we have a good chance to be in it. Now, even winning the games doesn't guarantee us to be in it. It's not completely in our hands. And but anyway, that's all we have to achieve.
Arsene, good morning. Thank you for your time. A man we know you love talking about, Jose Mourinho, is saying that depending on what happens tonight in their Europa League semi-final first leg, he may field a weakened team this weekend. Do you feel that is mind games, or do you take him seriously?
We focus on our performance. You know, I don't know what Manchester United will do, and we know anyway they have a massive squad with quality players, and only a top-level performance will get us the win we want.
So, if you were to make a lot of changes for the game, you wouldn't see that necessarily as an advantage for you?
No, what the only advantage we can give ourselves is focus on ourselves and not speculate on any weakness of Manchester United. No matter who plays, we will have a strong team out.
Coming up against Jose Mourinho team, is it something you relish, or is it something you look at ahead of the season?
Look, I do not make of it a manager's fight. You know, what I want is that my team turns up and plays with a stronger performance than we did on Sunday, and respond well.
You spoke about the Europa League and the fact it may well deliver a place in the Champions League to Manchester United. If the worst comes to the worst and it's out of your own hands now, top four, asked the word to be in the Europa League next season, would it be a competition that you would take seriously?
I take every competition seriously, and the only thing I did always over the years was to use the League Cup to give some chances to young players. All the other competitions we treat always seriously.
So, the fact that the Europa League offers that Champions League berth these days, that makes it an important competition for you.
Look, the Europa League, we decided that in Geneva, to give a chance to the Europa League to be taken seriously again, because most of the big clubs, when they played in the Europa League, they didn't play with a strong team, and to make the Europa League a bit more attractive, we opened the door to qualify. It's not automatically, you're not automatically in the Champions League, you have to go through the qualifiers. So that was a good inciting to put the best teams in again and be motivated. But if you look at the teams who won the Europa League recently, have always been teams who have been kicked out in a group stage of the Champions League, always. This year can be Man United, who started the competition, but Man United is of course a massive club, and they are entitled to fight for it.
In one of your many straight bat answers about your future and your contract, at the turn of the year, you said that you would announce your decision, which you've already made, in March or April.
And we are in May. That means I was wrong.
So you're still not ready, or the club is still not ready to let us know about you?
No.
You've spoken about your frustrations at losing this week to TV channel in Norway, I think. Some nice quotes which says that you don't take the criticism personally, even if sometimes it can become abusive, and you hate yourself more than anyone when you lose.
Yeah, that's true.
How do you deal with losing? Very
badly. But unfortunately, in a manager's career, you have to go through it. What in our job is to. This week we have spoken about the Aaron Lennon mental problem, but part of this job, people underestimate a little bit the stress even the players are under to perform and to be capable. I think you need to be a bit more balanced, because in life you have always ups and downs. The only difference maybe in our jobs is the ups are higher and the downs are lower. So it gets more maybe difference between the ups and downs, and that's what you have to deal with.
So having said that, after all you've achieved in the game, do you really need the aggro anymore?
Yeah, because I love the positive side of it. It's I love to win. I love to prepare for something that is big, and the excitement to prepare for something and the hope to do well.
Do you ever see yourself? You said you'll be managing somewhere next season, here or somewhere else. Where would that somewhere else be, do you think?
I don't know. It's not at the moment. I'm focused on Manchester United.
But the French national side, PSG?
I just focused on Arsenal and Manchester United. Next game is Arsenal, so that is the only interest I have at the moment.
You talk about the frustration of losing. Mesut Ozil was obviously frustrated after the North London derby. You will have, even if you didn't see directly, you will have heard that he got upset about being asked to do a drugs test. What's your view on his reaction? Apparently he told members of your medical team to whatever and kick the door at White Hart Lane.
I'm sorry that he kicked the door, but I can understand. I don't think his frustration was towards the drug test. His frustration was towards the fact that we lost the game, and that's the only explanation I have. I didn't speak about it with him because I only heard about it today.
But you will speak to him about it or not?
Yeah, a little bit, yes, because I don't know really what happened, and it's always good as well to get the player's version,
He's getting his driveway re-tarmacked. He's getting his driveway at home re-tarmacked. It looks like he's planning to stay a bit longer.
Oh, that's a good conclusion.
It's important to you though, isn't it? There's no news yet on his contract at all, Arsene.
No.
Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain's been voted your Arsenal Player of the Month. Well deserved?
Yes, I think so, because his performances have been convincing and positive. And it looks like he makes a move forward. I'm very pleased for him.
And he's pleased with the way he's playing and showing a new appetite?
Yeah, I believe that he's happy in his position where he plays at the moment. I'm convinced that he has all the qualities to play well there, and hopefully it will give him the needed confidence.
Pen to paper from him soon, maybe?
Personally, that's I told you already many times. I think he has to commit his future to the club, and I hope he will do so during the summer.
Thanks for me, Arsene.
Arsene, in 10 matches so far this season against teams also in the top 7, I don't need to tell you that Arsenal have accumulated 6 points. How do you explain that sort of record?
I felt that away from home we failed in big games, yes, and we didn't take enough points, and it's very difficult to explain because last season it was reverse. We had made many points against all the big teams away from home as well, and there was a turning point at Everton and at Man City where we lost 2 games on the trot just after a Champions League game, and took our confidence a little bit away from us, and we lost away from home even more than at home. Cazorla was a very important player for us, and from as much as last season. He contributed a lot this season. Unfortunately, we lost him very early.
So would you say that they're largely mental shortcomings or technical shortcomings?
It's always difficult to isolate one factor. I felt that defensively, away from home, we conceded too many goals.
And in terms of, you never discuss publicly your transfer policy, but if you were to go into the Europa League next season, does that change the way that you recruit, because you'll need to have a different list because you won't be able to attract players because there's no champion?
I don't think so. I don't think so. We'll deal with it if we have to face it. We'll deal with it. But at the moment, we are not there.
But would that mean a longer list of targets?
No, it means you focus on the same players.
With the news about Aaron Lennon this week, how seriously do you feel football has taken mental health issues amongst its players, and how sensitive have you been over the years at monitoring your players?
We help on the mental front. Players who want help, we help them, of course. And it's difficult for the players to, when they do not meet their needs, like all of us, you know, they are frustrated, and they do not. They suffer certainly with self-esteem in some situations, but because the expectation level around them is very high. Their families, their agents, the pressure on them is very big, and so it's not easy to deal with that when you are at a very young age, and when needed, we try to help them, yes.
Do you think that most of the big clubs have that network of help available if players require it?
Yes, but first of all, not all the players, even if they feel the need, they do want to be helped by people who are at the club. You know, they want. Sometimes you don't want to show that you could be interpreted as a weakness inside the club, and so I believe that you understand that most of the players, if they are in a situation where they need help, they want to do that outside the club.
Arsene, given the history and the rivalry between Arsenal and Manchester United, how big a lift would it be for you, the team and the fans to beat them this weekend after the disappointment of the North London derby?
It's a big game, and of course every big game boosts your confidence, but for us, more than focusing just on the fact that it is Man United is of course a massive club where we had big rivalry over the years. What is important for us is to have a chance to achieve our target. There is no choice, we have to beat them.
Over your many years, it used to be a game between two title candidates, but it's 5th v 6th. How much of a sign of the times is that?
It just shows that, you know, that everybody has moved up, and that the number of clubs who can fight at the top is bigger this season, and that the difference between the teams is smaller, and as soon as you're not at your best, you lose. You can lose anyway. We have seen it again over the weekend. We lost at Tottenham, yes, but of course Tottenham has had a good season this year, but City played a draw at Middlesbrough, Man United played a draw against Swansea. That shows you as soon as you're not at your best, you can drop points.
Jose's been talking about the hectic schedule that Manchester United have had. Any sympathy for him on that front?
Look, normally a hectic schedule is what you want, and that shows that you're in the competitions. And overall, I must say, if you have no big injuries, not many injuries, we are all equipped now in the Premier League to deal with that. You look at what has changed in the Premier League, look at the benches of the teams who are between 10 and 20. There's still some top players on the bench in every single club.
Thank you.
Arsene, just to check on Granit Xhaka, is there no chance for Sunday, or will he have a test?
There is a little chance.
Okay. When you look at United since Sir Alex Ferguson left, does it worry you at all that that might happen to Arsenal whenever it is you step?
No, it can as well go better from when I leave one day. I personally, you know, when you're such a long time at at the club, like I am, like Ferguson was. It's a little bit like when you have children. You want them to be happy, and even when you're not there anymore, you want them to be happy. That means that's what you want.
But is what happened to them in the last 3 years, is that sort of, I don't know, evidence of what might happen?
Look, I'm not in a position to judge what happened to Man United. I'm sure they will come back and fight for the Premiership again. They are in a rebuilding phase, and I'm sure they will have quality inside the club and the resources to come back to fight for the Premiership.
Does a top 4 finish make it more or less likely that you'll stay on next season?
I don't want to speak about my personal case anymore.
So is it relevant though, the top 4 finish, to what you're going to do?
No, not necessarily, no.
Why not?
Why not? I just told you I don't want to speak about it.
Do you expect United to play for a draw on Sunday?
No. Why?
Well, because, I mean, they had quite a defensive approach to the Man City away game.
Oh wait, but I don't know. I believe that they will certainly try to be defensively solid, but they'll try to win the game as well. For them, it's like for us. Both teams are in a position where they have to win their game to have a little chance to be in the top 4.
And just finally, your relationship with Sir Alex mellowed over time.
Mellowed, yes.
Do you ever see that happen?
No, we have respect, you know. I think I try to respect everybody, and I do not want to make a case of any person. I think it's important that I focus on my own team and the performance of my team, and forget all the rest.
Do you ever see it happening with Jose then?
Sorry?
Do you ever see a similar thing happening with Jose?
Look, I'm open always in life for everything, you know, for peace, and but what is important when you're competition and when you're competitor is that you give absolutely everything to win the next game.
Thank you.